Welcome to the latest edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show, coming at you as I love to do. Every weekday afternoon from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over the airwaves of Sirius XM. Mad Dog Sports Radio, the number to call up as always is 888-MAD-DOG-6. That's 888-623-3646. Obviously, today's show will primarily focus on last night's NBA draft and the ramifications stemming from it, because I'm here to tell you something right now. When you look at the balance of power in the National Basketball Association, largely really evolving around the Golden State Warriors, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the San Antonio Spurs. All four of them made some noise last night. Although, as far as I'm concerned, Philadelphia 76ers had the best draft because they got the best player in the draft in Ben Simmons. All four of those teams made an impact. You've got the Clippers drafting this kid, Bryce Johnson, power forward from the University of North Carolina. I mean, obviously, he dropped the ball a little bit in defending the perimeter before that shot by Villanova won the national championship against North Carolina. That's about the only thing that he did wrong as far as I'm concerned. He had a big-time NCAA tournament, had a nice season. That's a good pickup by the Los Angeles Clippers. He's got to put some size, some weight on him, but he can play. So I think if you're the Los Angeles Clippers, you did something good there. If you're the Oklahoma City Thunder, you traded Serge Ibaka to the Orlando Magic. And in return, you got Oladipo. You finally got a shooting guard to put in between Kevin Durant, if he stays, and, of course, Russell Westbrook. Not to mention the fact that you did it while in the process also saving some cap space. So I think that was a big-time move by Oklahoma City. And we'll continue to talk about them moving forward. The San Antonio Spurs. I am here to tell y'all right now, this dude, DeJounte Murray, out of Washington, that slipped to number 29 by the San Antonio Spurs, I got news for y'all. You wait and see what happens with that. This kid can play. And now that he's going to have the exceptional coaching of the San Antonio Spurs, who, by the way, flew as a staff into Cleveland to meet with him days before the draft, by the way. There's no doubt in my mind that that's something that they're going to benefit from. I can't knock that. And I got to give credit where credit is due. So you got the San Antonio Spurs. And, of course, Golden State didn't have to do much. They just need to work out free agency as far as I'm concerned. But when I look at the Oklahoma City Thunder, I mean, they had the best draft, one would argue. This kid, Sabonis, is a banger. He's physical. He's feisty. He's the son of the great Arvydas Sabonis from years ago. You got him. You still kept Enes Kanter and Steven Adams. And then on top of it all, you acquired Victor Oladipo to play in between Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant if Durant stays. It's a great move by Sam Presti. Great move, period. I mean, what can you say? And we're going to look at the Philadelphia 76ers because we're obviously obligated to talk about them in this respect. Ben Simmons is the truth. There's just no way around it. He's a big-time talent. The comparisons to LeBron James, while extreme in some people's eyes, I don't find it to be that extreme. I got to tell you that. I really, really don't. When I look at this kid, Ben Simmons, and the versatility that he brings to the table, being 6'10", 6'11", the ball handling and passing skills that he has. And by the way, everybody want to talk about his shot, his perimeter shot, his three-point shot. He only attempted like 3 on the season. This kid is the truth. I know Brandon Ingram can play. I'm certainly not diminishing that. I'm definitely not diminishing that. And I think that he's going to be a big-time scorer. And I think that's a big-time pickup by the Los Angeles Lakers. And you got him with Julius Randle. If D'Angelo Russell doesn't get traded, and he stays there, and he wants to act like a point guard instead of playing around with Swaggy P, who's going, his joke, one could argue, cost Swaggy P his relationship with Iggy Azalea. When you look at it from all of that, bottom line is clear. Los Angeles Lakers improved, but the Philadelphia 76ers, with this kid Ben Simmons and what he's capable of doing, with Jahlil Okafor, who I believe in, by the way. I believe in Jahlil Okafor. I believe that Jahlil Okafor is only going to get better. Nerlens Noel is essentially a defender. We'll see what happens with everybody else. And whether you got that big kid out of Kansas that's finally going to be ready to play after 2 years of being out with his foot injuries. But right now, when you look at Ben Simmons and what he brings to the table for the Philadelphia 76ers, and the fact that they got Brian Colangelo as a general manager instead of Mr. Sam Hinkie, thank the good Lord that the Philadelphia 76ers appear to be willing to be an actual professional basketball team again. So I'm excited about that. I really am. So I think the Sixers upgraded significantly. I think the Lakers upgraded significantly. I'm going to give some love to the Minnesota Timberwolves, even though I don't like the fact that my man Sam Mitchell is gone. But damn it, Tom Thibodeau is there. And we all know the man knows what he's doing. So I kind of like what I'm seeing from Minnesota. I mean, because when you look at this kid out of Providence and what he could bring to the table, you got to remember, Minnesota was trying to get their hands on Jimmy Butler. They're still trying to get their hands on Jimmy Butler. But this kid out of Providence, I got news for you. He can play. He can play. And the fact that he was picked at number 5, some people say they were shocked because he fell to number 5. That's what they were saying. He fell to number 5. Not that he was picked at number 5, but that he fell to number 5. So when I look at it from that perspective, that just tells me how folks believe in this kid. And we're going to see what he does. 888 Mad Dog 6 is always the number to call up. That's 888-623-3646. Chris Dunn can play. Some would argue they needed a point guard because Ricky Rubio can't shoot. And Zach LaVine is an athlete that's really a number 2. And Chris Dunn really is not considered a point guard. He can score and he can really defend, but can he run a team? But I like Chris Dunn. I like him a lot. But the things that stuck out of my mind, really stuck out of my mind, was San Antonio grabbing this kid DeJounte Murray out of Washington. Denver grabbing Jamal Murray out of Kentucky at number 7. I like that one too, because Murray can play. Golden State got this kid Damian Jones. He's a center out of Vanderbilt. I mean, it was a good move by them. But essentially, it's all about what they do in free agency. I'm just looking at it right now. And I got to tell you something. San Antonio upgraded. Cleveland Cavaliers, I mean, hey, what do you want me to say? The key to me, the contender with the best draft was the Oklahoma City Thunder. The contender with the best draft was the Oklahoma City Thunder. The team overall with the best draft is the Philadelphia 76ers, who got the best player in Ben Simmons. 888 Mad Dog 6 is always the number to call up. That's 888-623-3646. Miami didn't have a pick. New York Knicks didn't have a pick. Don't get me started with this stuff. I'll get over it. It's okay. But I'm just looking at a few things right now, and I got to admit, I'm excited about what I'm seeing. Next year's going to be very, very interesting. Keep your eyes on this kid Jamal Murray for the Nuggets. With Emmanuel Mudiay, backcourt could be set for years to come. Got to give Denver credit for that. Can't knock that. But getting back to Ben Simmons for the Philadelphia 76ers, let me tell you something right now. When you got a player like him, with these ball handling skills, these passing skills, it was never an issue. The only question I had about Ben Simmons was whether or not he should be in the Philadelphia market. Because if people are questioning your motor in college, what kind of motor are you going to have on a professional level for 82 games? So in that regard, I'm sensitive to that. And it's something that I think is worthy of being monitored. Especially when Allen Iverson and Doug Collins, yes, Doug Collins, basketball analyst for ESPN, former coach for the Bulls and the Washington Wizards and Detroit Pistons, that Doug Collins. Those are the only two other number one overall picks in the history of the Philadelphia 76ers franchise. Both of them had a high motor. High motor. Ben Simmons has to make sure he has one too. There's no way around it. 888 Mad Dog 6 is always the number to call up. That's 888-623-3646. I'll get to your phone calls in just a little while. But first, the new head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers will be on the line with us. His name is Luke Walton, new head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers. He's up next with Stephen A. on Mad Dog.
Mad Dog Unleashed with me, Steve Torrey, on Dog Bites, weeknights at 6 p.m. Eastern on Mad Dog Sports Radio, Sirius XM 82.
You're listening to the Stephen A. Smith Show.
16 minutes past hour number one, back here on the Stephen A. Smith Show, Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. I'll get back to your phone calls in just a minute, but we got to get to the lines right now. It's my honor and privilege to have my next guest on the line. He did a fabulous job coaching the Golden State Warriors for the first 43 games of the season, led them to a 24-0 start, a 39-4 record overall, and obviously had a lot to do with the success that the Golden State Warriors experienced this season, along with his head coach, Steve Kerr, who ultimately returned from his injuries to lead them to a 34-5 record the rest of the way, and a record 73-9 regular season. I'm talking about the former assistant coach for the Golden State Warriors, the new head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, Luke Walton. Well deserved, my man. Good afternoon. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Stephen. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Sincere congratulations to you for being the new coach for the Los Angeles Lakers. First things first, how did you feel about the draft last night, grabbing Brandon Ingram, who was widely considered to be the second best player in this entire draft? Talk to me about him for a second.
I was thrilled that that's what we got. I told him on the phone, even if we had the number one pick, that's who I was going to try to convince the front office to go with. Absolutely love his game, his versatility on both ends of the court. I can see him guarding multiple positions with his length, being able to change shots in the paint and get out and run in transition, and then obviously to be his age and be that skilled already on offense. I think the kid has a very bright future.
Any concerns at all about his frame? Because so many people look at him and they say, you know what, he's a scorer primarily, and he's obviously very slim. I imagine when you look at somebody like Kevin Durant, that's not something we should be worried about in this day and age. Nevertheless, it's something that's brought up about him a lot. What about your concerns there?
I'm not concerned at all about it. I mean, it's, to me, the way the game is going anyways, it's a less physical game, these days than it used to be, and he's young. He's going to get stronger. The coaches that were here when he came to work out told me he actually had some strength behind him, even though he's a skinny kid. Mm-hmm. And that leads me to believe that he'll be just fine in this game.
We're talking to Luke Walton, new head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers, right here with Stephen A. on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. So, Luke, when you look at the rest of your roster, I mean, a guy like a Julius Randle, a guy like a D'Angelo Russell, considering the fact that Kobe Bryant is going right now, how should we picture this team? Just give a framework, a picture to fans out there that are wondering about how the Lakers are going to look next season with these three young guys on your squad. Talk to me about your thoughts about all of them playing together.
Well, to me, it's exciting. I think the fans are going to be excited about it. Obviously, you lose somebody like Kobe Bryant, and that's huge. And there's going to be work to be done to get back on top. But the management here has done a great job of putting these young players together. They have the point guard and the shooting guard, power forward. Larry Nance Jr. is a really good player too. The more you watch film on him, it's tough to say what it's going to look like right now because we only have 7-8 guys under contract. So we still have to fill out the roster. But I've been down here. We lost in Game 7 on Sunday. I drove down Monday morning, and since I've been in here, the young players have been in every single day, working out on the court, working out in the weight room, talking to them. They're excited. They have great attitudes about this upcoming season. So that, as a coach, that's exciting to see.
Luke Walton right here with Stephen A. on Mad Dog Sports Radio. Luke, even though you were in Golden State, you won championships with the Los Angeles Lakers. You're friends with a lot of members in the organization. Obviously, you're friends with Kobe Bryant and others. What has it been like for you, albeit from afar, with all the great things going on in Golden State? What was it like for you to see the Los Angeles Lakers struggling over the last 2 to 3 years the way that they have struggled?
It's hard because I still, one of the great things about this Laker organization, which is similar to the experience I had in Golden State, was they have a sense of family within the organization. So, even when I got traded to Cleveland, I would still stay up late night and watch, Laker games on TV. So I've always kind of keep an eye on them. And just see how they're doing, hope that they're having success because of the history I've had with them. And, you kind of figure in sports it happens like this, it plays out like this whenever, a great player or great players come to the end of an era. There's normally, down years because you have to now, develop new young players and rebuild the process. And the Lakers did an incredible job of spanning that out over years, but that's just kind of where they're at right now. But I know the commitment to excellence here in LA, and I'm happy and honored to be part of this rebuilding process.
Luke Walton, new coach for the Los Angeles Lakers, here with Stephen A. Now, obviously, somebody like me is on the record on many occasions talking about the Los Angeles Lakers. I think the biggest impediment to their success has been Jim Buss, Jeannie Buss, the whole dynamic that's there, because when Dr. Buss was alive, God rest his soul, obviously the Lakers were an attractive landing spot. That hasn't appeared to be the case in recent memory, with marquee free agents out there electing to stay in certain places or go somewhere else other than come to Los Angeles, which is why I love the hire of you, because I think you being there, obviously with some of the relationships that you have, I think that you have the potential to bring a level of stability and attractiveness to the Los Angeles Lakers that some would say hasn't been there, at least in the last couple of years or so. What do you make of that in terms of your role as not just the head coach, but as a recruiter?
Well, I want to be a recruiter. I want to get out there and meet these free agents. I want to show them what we're doing. I think that it'll even become more attractive in years to come when they see how we're playing and the development of our young guys and the style of game that we play. But I want to sit down with every free agent that we're trying to get and talk with them and give them my spiel. But since I've been here, everything's been great. Jimmy and Jeannie, they're in the draft at the draft yesterday and talking to them. They're engaged in what's happening and who we're taking, and energy level's been phenomenal around here. So for the week I've been here, I've been very impressed with everything that's been going on in the front office.
Now, Luke, when you talk about style of play and just the way we've seen the Lakers play throughout the years, what's going to be different, or what can we expect from a Luke Walton coached basketball team in Los Angeles? Because you clearly don't have the parts in LA that you had in Golden State. But what are we to expect in terms of the style of play that you plan on implementing into the Lakers scheme of things?
Well, we're going to get up and down. I've always, even before I was at Golden State, I've always been a believer that the game of basketball should be played at a fast pace. Now there's obviously you make tweaks to what you do and what you allow to happen depending on your personnel. With Steph and Clay, even though you might not like some of the shots, you tell them anytime they think they're open, they can let it fly. Now, you don't give the same freedom to people that don't shoot as well as those two do. But we're going to get up and down. We're gonna have a standard of how we play, and if we feel guys aren't playing the right way or aren't playing hard enough, we have a young team. The best way to teach young guys is to take them out when they're not doing what they should be doing, because everybody wants to play, and sitting on the bench is probably the best motivator there is at this level. And we expect a competitive group, whether we're winning or losing. There's a level of competitiveness that needs to be out there, and that's on us as a coaching staff to put that type of attitude into them in practice and challenge them in practice. Constantly compete. Whatever the drill is, whether we're doing offensive work or defensive work, it has to be about competition and making these guys thrive in a competitive setting. And, I think if you can take care of those type of foundations as the players get better, you don't even have to worry about the wins and losses, because when you play like that, you're naturally going to start winning ball games.
Luke Walton right here with Stephen A. Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. Just a few more questions before I let you get on out of here, buddy. Free agency, a guy like Kevin Durant is out there, or Dwight Howard is out there, even though I don't think Dwight Howard's coming back to L.A., of course. Your thoughts are, you say you want to be a recruiter. Obviously, the Los Angeles Lakers have some cap space. How active are you going to be in trying to talk to the Kevin Durants of the world and anybody else who could potentially help this team?
Very active. Kevin, everybody in the league is going to make a pitch at Durant, but we have to be realistic about what's happening. And if, we offer a max contract and, he tells us he needs a couple weeks to think about it, then we have to be active on the next guys down on that list. Because we got roster spots we have to fill out, and there are other good people out there that we like. But you obviously start at the top, and then kind of just start working your way down. And eventually there's enough good people out there that we feel like we'll be able to get our roster to where it needs to be by the start of the season.
Transitioning to the Golden State Warriors, why are you sitting here today as former champions as opposed to the Golden State Warriors being two-time NBA champions? What happened in the finals?
A lot happened. As you know, you were there every day. I still, I don't have a straight answer for you. There's a lot of things that went into our meltdown, and there's a lot of things that you just have to give the Cavaliers and LeBron James and Kyrie Irving and their supporting staff credit on, because the two of them were absolutely incredible from Game 5 on. Whether we just couldn't find it to close that series out. They outplayed us in a 7-game series. They absolutely deserved to win that thing. I thought we had multiple chances and opportunities too. I still haven't brought myself to go back and watch Game 7. And I'm sure I'll have more opinions whenever that day comes. Mm-hmm. But right now, if you have an answer, I'll listen to you, because I'm not sure what happened there.
I will tell you this. I think that if Draymond Green hadn't gotten suspended for Game 5, who knows what would have happened. I think if Andrew Bogut hadn't gotten hurt, Game 7 could have been very, very interesting. What do you make of that?
Yeah, and I agree with that. It's, obviously it's all hypotheticals, but
Yep.
I think the way we were playing when we took the 3-1 lead, if we had Draymond still, then there was a good chance we could have closed that thing out in 5. Game 5 is really where LeBron and Kyrie, when they both scored 41, they turned into monsters after that. Their whole game, they got all the confidence in the world. So I think that is a chance. I mean, obviously they both still could have had 41 if Draymond was playing. I don't think so, but that's sports, and we'll never know the answer to that. But that was a big factor in it. And then obviously Bogut, who's one of the best rim protectors in the game and a very intelligent player, losing him hurts. But they had the same excuses from the year before.
Yeah.
So we can't really talk about that because it's the same thing that happened to Kevin Love and Kyrie when we won our championship. So it's what makes sports great. No one ever knows what's going to happen. I sure as heck didn't think we were going to blow a 3-1 lead with the team we have, and the fact we've never lost 3 games in a row and never 2 in a row at home and all these things. But they deserve it at the end of the day.
Your former owner, Joe Lacob, obviously has made no apologies or no secret about the fact that he plans on making a splash in free agency. In other words, he's going to probably get a Kevin Durant. He's after him, or it could be a Dwight Howard or somebody. What do you see happening for Golden State in free agency in that regard, knowing them the way that you know them?
I know that they have an incredible front office. I think Bob Myers is as good as it gets in the business.
Yeah.
But a lot of that is they're gonna make the cap space. They have the freedom or the flexibility to make that happen. So from that point, it just it's all up to the max player as far as where he wants to go. Like I said, every team in the NBA is going to offer Kevin Durant a max contract. Every team, there's certain players that it's going to be up to the player where they want to play at. I know, like I said, their front office is great, and they're going to have a great sales pitch, and who wouldn't want to come play with Steph and Clay and Draymond and Andre and all these guys? I mean, they're a phenomenal group of men, and but ultimately it comes down to what the free agent wants to do.
Last question to you: What happened to Steph Curry? I think that a lot of people are asking that the 2-time reigning league MVP didn't seem to be himself in the NBA Finals. As a coach who coached him, as a head coach and as an assistant coach, what can you tell us? What was wrong with him? He didn't seem to be himself. What happened?
Yeah, I'm not sure, and that's more because that's who Steph is. Steph doesn't come in and complain about everything. He's more on the quiet side. He comes in and works every day, and he's an extremely confident man when it comes to the game of basketball. And he did seem a little off there towards the end. But I left literally 12 hours after the game ended, so I haven't had a chance to talk to a lot of our players up there. But I'm sure that Steph Curry is going to be just fine going forward, and that whatever the little mini slump that he was having, will be taken care of in the offseason.
He'll be back, no doubt about it. Luke, I appreciate your time. Congratulations on being the new head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers. Trust me, all of us are rooting for you because we don't like seeing the Lakers at 17-65. And by the way, I hear congratulations is in order. You're about to be a new daddy soon?
Yes, sir. I keep telling John Black, the PR guy here, you can schedule me for what you want, but just know that the baby trumps all. So the due date was yesterday, but we have no action yet.
Well, congratulations to you and your family. All the best to you, and watch out for that guy, John Black, man. I mean, John's crazy. John's crazy, Luke. John's crazy.
I know.
All right, man.
Heads up.
Take it easy, buddy. I'll see you down the road. Thanks so much. Luke Walton, new head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers, right here with Stephen A. Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio, 888 Mad Dog 6 is always the number to call up. That's 888-623-3646. Your phone calls and more in a minute. Touching NBA draft, touching on the Los Angeles Lakers, touching on the Golden State Warriors based on everything you just heard me talk about with Luke Walton. Feel free to chime in. It's the Stephen A. Smith Show. It's Sirius XM. It's Mad Dog Sports Radio. Channel 82.
Mad Dog Sports Radio. Sports Bite.
It's been a little while since he played in the city of brotherly love, but a piece of advice from the guy known as The Answer. Allen Iverson was the Sixers' last number 1 overall pick back in 1996. Iverson on ESPN had some guidelines for new number 1 pick Ben Simmons when it comes to playing in Philadelphia.
Just understand that it's going to be some ups, it's going to be some downs. But these people will stick with you. As long as you give them everything you have, they're going to stick with you through your ups and your downs. You know what I mean? I'm a perfect example of that. You know what I mean? I fell, got back up, and they always stuck with me. And they'll do that with him.
Iverson took the Sixers to their last NBA Finals, and Simmons is a fan of The Answer. As for the second pick, the Lakers selected Duke's Brandon Ingram. Lake Show GM Mitch Kupchak, a guest of Shine on Sports, right here on Mad Dog Sports Radio, says Ingram not your typical one-and-done type kid.
We see a young, developing player, with an awful lot of talent and an awful lot of upside. A lot of times you'll draft a young player, in particular players from Europe, that really don't get to play much because they're playing on veteran teams. So you're drafting a guy that's really long on potential, but really soft on experience.
Full slate of baseball with 15 games on tonight's schedule. MLB-leading Cubs try to climb out of what's a 4-game hole, continue their series with the Marlins. Kyle Hendricks opposed by Miami's Tom Kohler at 7:10 Eastern. Giants have won 3 straight and 12 of 14. They host the Phillies. San Fran now matching the Cubs with an MLB-high 47 wins. Jake Peavy against the rookie Zach Eflin. Rangers have also won 47, opened a series with the Red Sox in Arlington. Nick Martinez for Texas against Boston's David Price. Olympic news, the World Anti-Doping Agency has suspended the lab in Rio responsible for processing athletes' drug test samples, citing technical errors. The lab has 21 days to appeal a court decision. I'm Matt Martucci.
This is the Stephen A. Smith Show on Mad Dog Sports Radio.
36 minutes past hour number 1, back here in the Stephen A. Smith Show, Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. Thanks again to Luke Walton, the new head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers, coming on to talk with us about drafting Brandon Ingram, number 2 overall in the NBA draft, about playing them together with D'Angelo Russell, Julius Randle, Nance Jr. and the rest of the crew going out there willing to be a free agent, and also talking to us about what transpired with the Golden State Warriors in the NBA Finals. 888 Mad Dog 6 is always the number to call up. That's 888-623-3646. Let's go to Corey in Texas. You're live with Stephen A. on Mad Dog. Corey, how are you?
Good afternoon, Mr. Smith. I want to know if you can clear up a little debate me and one of my coworkers are having. I know he's listening right now. We both promised we'd try to call in and get your take on it. But he's about the Magic and Thunder trade. He's thinking that it's a bad trade for the Thunder because it's another ball-dominant guard, ball handler, and the ball won't get spread around. I told him you unload Serge Ibaka's contract, and you get another scorer who is also a pretty good defender in himself. I want to know if you can clear that up for us. Give us
what I would tell you is this. It's not a bad deal. It's an exceptional deal on the part of the Oklahoma City Thunder because you wanted to get rid of Serge Ibaka, who had regressed into being primarily a three-point shooter. He certainly wasn't the defensive player, defensive stalwart that he was in the past. That's number 1. Number 2, you have a situation where you got absolutely positively no production offensively from your shooting guard spot because it just was covered because you had Durant and Russell Westbrook. But now that you've got a guy like Victor Oladipo, with Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant, assuming Kevin Durant stays, it might appear to be too many basketballs, but the flip side is you've got somebody out there who's an actual threat to put the ball in the hole. Also, let's not forget that there were times when Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook played with Dion Waiters. Somehow, some way, Dion Waiters managed to get some shots and managed to make an impact. So let's not ignore that either. So all told, I think it was an exceptional deal by the part of Sam Presti and the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I think you're right and your friend is totally wrong.
Thank you, sir. I hope you're listening to that, Joe.
No need for the shout-outs, bro. No need for the shout-outs. Appreciate the call. Let's go to Lou in Detroit. You're live with Stephen A. on Mad Dog. What's up, Lou? How are you?
Doing terrific. Thank you for taking my call.
Go ahead, man.
I want to get your insight on something. I played college basketball at a high level and played in Europe. I feel a little disrespected on all of the foreign players actually getting selected above our college players, understanding the fact that we have dominated basketball for years. Can you explain to me why all of these foreigners are coming ahead of our players that are proving?
That the foreign players are coming ahead?
Yeah, getting drafted.
Because I think you're looking at it from a talent perspective. You're not looking at it from a fit perspective. Sometimes it's not about talent. Like, for example, look at the question that the individual just called up and asked me about the Oklahoma City trade, right?
Yes.
Now, we all know that Victor Oladipo is talented. But the question primarily was presented because you have Durant and Russell Westbrook. So are you going to have enough basketballs? Do they fit? Et cetera, et cetera. Those are the kind of things that you have to concern yourself with. Whereas if that wasn't the case, you wouldn't have to worry about that. You see what I'm saying? So when you look at it, and not only that, there's also there's numbers, and there's the fact that the game has softened to some degree. So you might have American talent that's superior in terms of their athleticism, but they don't shoot the ball as well. And you might have a team with enough athletes, and you need a shooter. Like if you have a Kyrie Irving, and you have a LeBron James, why would you need another athlete on Cleveland? You need a shooter.
Right.
And that's how it works. And the European players bring that to the equation. Let's also not forget the fact that the league is over 70% black. We all know that. Okay? We all know that. We also know that chances are it will remain that way. But the more European players that come on board, the more lighter the league is. And when you look I'm just being real with you. And when you look at it, when you look at that from a marketing standpoint, if you are the league, and it might, and by the way, it may have very little to do with pigmentation. The fact of the matter is when you have foreign players and you've successfully gone about the business of trying to globalize your brand, which the NBA has clearly done, the more international players you get, the better. Because the more marketable it makes your product internationally, which brings more money into the fray and more money for the players local and abroad to collect.
Yes.
So you can't ignore that either.
Hey, well, I appreciate you taking the call. Keep doing what you're doing. I enjoy you. Have a great day.
Thanks, bro. Let's go to Rick in Texas. You're live with Stephen A. on Mad Dog. What's up, Rick?
Stephen A., love your show, bro.
Thank you, bro. Go ahead.
Hey, couple of questions for you. Given the fact of what the Lakers have done the last few years, what would be a reasonable expectation for Luke Walton in his first year? And number two, how long do you think it'll take him to have the Lakers back in the playoff picture?
I think it'll take him 2 years unless he gets a Kevin Durant in free agency, which is likely not going to happen. I think it'll take him 2 years, A, and B, I think that the Lakers will win 30 to 35 games. I would predict that they'll have about a 15-game improvement.
Okay, so
they still won't be a playoff team. They still won't be a playoff team. But I think the up-tempo style of play that he's going to incorporate, the fact that he's going to incorporate a entertaining brand of basketball, is going to have guys wanting to play. It's going to have guys willing to play hard. And listen, not to knock Kobe, he's the Black Mamba, one of the greatest ever as far as I'm concerned. But we all knew that the Lakers stunk last year and that the only attractive commodity that they had was Kobe Bryant. And you walk through the turnstiles to see him play his last game. So it was essentially the Kobe Bryant show, which was very, very difficult for the Lakers players to deal with. Now that he's gone, you get back to playing basketball as opposed to being spectators while Kobe did what he did. And because of that, I think that the Lakers, with Luke Walton as their coach, will be better off for it, and they'll be all right.
And I listened to your interview with Luke Walton a few moments ago, and my last question, I guess, take a little more time, would be how much of an impact do you think he will actually have getting some good free agents to come to the Lakers?
I think ultimately he'll have an impact down the road, but not immediately because the team is not good enough for a marquee free agent to want to come here and struggle with the Lakers. You'd want them to be considerably better off before you decided to come to the Los Angeles Lakers. That's why I don't think this will be a strong recruiting summer for Luke Walton. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. I don't think this will be a strong recruiting summer for him, but I do think that the years to follow will be that way. Appreciate the call. Let's go to Stretch in Chicago. You're live with Stephen A. on Mad Dog. What's up, Stretch? How you doing, man?
What's going on, Stephen A.? Feeling good about the drive, baby. We can play that small ball now with the Big Ten Player of the Year. We got Jerry Washington. I appreciate that, Phil. reaching out to us with that Derrick Rose trade. Now we got Jared Grant at the point, Denzel at the 2, Jimmy Butler can move to the 3, Miritich to the 4, and then if we want to keep Paul Gasol, that's fine. Or we can go small and go Bobby Portis. Stephen A., we on the up cup. Stephen A., we'll be back in the playoffs.
What? No. Stop. Stretch, you ain't going to playoffs.
You know that?
No, you're not going to playoffs. Now, you will. You are on the upside from the standpoint that you got youth on your side. So you got youth on your side. And by the way, Denzel Valentine ain't going to get but so much time unless Jimmy Butler gets traded. Okay, so let's be clear about that. But the point that I'm trying to make to you, overall, is that you got younger, you still got some young talent, but Chicago took a step in the wrong direction. They've got some rebuilding to do because even though I like Gar Forman and John Paxson, the fact of the matter is they could have done a better job over the last 2 or 3 years, and they haven't. So you're going down before you're on the come up. I think that you'll be on the come up in years to come, but I still think this next season is going to be a struggle for you. Thanks, Stretch. Appreciate the call. 888 Mad Dog 6 is always the number to call up. It's 888-623-3646. More of your phone calls in a minute with Stephen A. on Mad Dog.
Mad Dog Sports Radio tonight with Dan Grasso.
If I'm the Knicks, and if I was going to be any team, even if Chicago kept him, that was going to try to run Derrick Rose out there and get the best out of him and maximize the amount of basketball that he has left in his body right now, I think it's a home run. We know that Rose is never healthy. Bottom line is this. He's on a prove-it-year contract for the upcoming season. 1 year left.
Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Mad Dog Sports Radio. Sirius XM 82.
Start your day with Roto Experts and get a jump on your fantasy league competition.
They talk a lot of NBA draft. Let's get back to the phones at 888 Mad Dog 6. That's 888-623-3646. Let's go to Brandon in North Carolina. You're live with Stephen A. on Mad Dog. What's up, Brandon? How are you?
Hey, Stephen A. Big time fan here, man. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you. What's up?
Just had a quick question for you. I'm a diehard Milwaukee Bucks fan. I want your thoughts on the Thon Maker pick at number 10.
I don't know what to make of it. I heard a lot about this kid, but I also thought it seemed to be kind of a reach. But I got to trust. One of the things I do trust Jason Kidd with is his eye for talent. I really, really do. And when you look at some of the guys that he has in place, you just got to trust him. I don't know what to make of Thon Maker, but we'll see what happens.
Also, I wanted to get your opinion on where the Bucks foresee the foreseeable future with within the East. You know, where you think they can finish in the upcoming year if they don't.
I think they'll be back in the playoffs.
Okay.
I think that this year was a struggle, in large part due to Jason Kidd once again finding himself in a power struggle. Jason Kidd is a winner. Jason Kidd is a Hall of Famer. Jason Kidd is also one of those dudes that likes to do things his way. And he has very, very little tolerance for what he deems to be incompetence. Here's the problem with Jason Kidd. He's such a basketball savant that at times he doesn't realize most people would be perceived as being incompetent compared to him. So you got to be a team player, and you got to know how to work with people. And that was a distraction last year. That combined with injuries cost him. But now that he's got his contract extension and all of that stuff, I think they're going in the right direction, and I think you'll see a better Milwaukee Bucks team in the Eastern Conference this upcoming year.
Awesome, Stephen A. Thank you so much for taking my call. Keep up the great work, brother.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Let's go to Ramsey in Sacramento. You're live with Stephen A. on Mad Dog.
How you doing?
Good afternoon.
How you doing this morning, Stephen A.?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Trying to manage. I got to ask you, what's your take on what do you think the Kings did last night?
Well, I got to look it up again because I don't even remember what the hell the Sacramento Kings did, if I'm being totally honest.
They originally drafted Marquise Chris, but made the trade with Phoenix for the Greek dude. Then they got Scalabissier with number 28.
See, I don't know those guys. I know about Marquise, but I don't know about those other guys. So that's why it's impossible for me to answer that question. I really, really don't know. I do know this. Dave Yeager's your new coach. I don't think he deserved the job after getting, axed in Memphis and having a job a week later. They probably did it on purpose to do him a favor because for some reason this guy is successful about cultivating relationships where he gets to interview for other jobs while he's under contract for previous jobs, which is what he did with Minnesota when he was in Memphis. But I don't know. I mean, listen, the number one obligation he has right now, don't alienate DeMarcus Cousins. Get along with that brother. Get along with that brother, okay? Outside of that, I don't know what to make of them. I don't anticipate that Rondo will be back. I think that's a loss.
I don't either. I mean, the way I take it, you're moving into a new building, the Golden One Center downtown. You've got to build some form of product to get people in the seats that was more productive than last year, that you thought you had something. I mean, they moved Bellinelli last night to Charlotte and got Malachi Richardson from Syracuse. I'm hoping they find a way to move Ben McLemore as well.
I like Malachi Richardson. Malachi Richardson, and I definitely think he's an upgrade. I think he's an upgrade. I was very impressed with his performance in the NCAA tournament, and I think the kid's got a promising future. At the same time, again, it helps when you go on a team. See, a guy like DeJounte Murray out of Washington
fell right into the right spot. Right
to the right spot. The San Antonio Spurs, man. I mean, this kid is going to, in 2 or 3 years, you talk about Tony Parker retiring within the next 2 years. He's going to be the successor in all likelihood to Tony Parker, and he's playing for a coach like Greg Popovich. I think he's going to benefit tremendously.
True. I mean, I even feel a couple other people like Bryce Johnson and Malcolm Brogdon fell in the right spot as well.
That's right. Because listen, Bryce Johnson going to Doc Rivers, that's not bad.
And just the way Bryce Johnson plays, he's a lighter version of me of Blake Griffin or DeAndre Jordan. He jumps out the gym, plays the way their system works, and just fits in perfectly. And just getting back to Malcolm Brogdon, I think that's going to be a steal for Milwaukee.
We'll see. We will see. Malcolm Brogdon can play. I liked him at Virginia, but let's see what he does on the next level, okay? I appreciate the call. Let's go to Jeff in North Carolina. You're live with Stephen A. on Mad Dog. What's up, Jeff? How are you?
Good. How you, Stephen A?
I'm doing great. Thank you for calling.
My question, your last caller just stole my thunder. I was wanting to know your opinion on Bryce Johnson going to the Clippers.
Listen,
and
he can play. He needs to put on some weight, but he can play. Utah needs a point guard, and I know that. I know they just acquired George Hill, but they still need a point guard. My problem with Marcus Page is he can't shoot. He's a playmaker. He's gutsy. He's a good kid. I don't have, listen, I'm not going to be ultra critical of him, but he's not that great of a shooter. And I think on the NBA level, if you're a point guard who can't shoot, you had better be Rajon Rondo or you're not going to last.
You think the higher level you go up, he'll learn to be able to shoot better?
Well, let's hope so. You got to get in the gym, shoot about 500 jump shots a day. Let's see if he puts in the work. Appreciate the call, man. Let's go to Tony in Oklahoma. You're live with Stephen A. on Mad Dog. What's up, Tony?
Yes, sir. Glad I could catch you before you got to your vacay there, buddy.
Thank you.
I heard something on your station about a week ago, and it's just been bugging me. They were talking about all-time two guards, and they said you take Dwayne Wade over AI all day. And I almost ran off the road. I couldn't understand where they're coming from with that.
Well, first of all, I can't disagree with that. And nobody loves AI more than me. AI is one of the top 3 little guards in NBA history, but he's not a 3-time champion. That would happen to be Dwayne Wade. As great as he was, he isn't the closer that Dwayne Wade was. If you're talking about playing with a motor for 82 games and being electric, listen, Allen Iverson, even though he was at the 2, he was really the only weapon that the Philadelphia 76ers had. So he carried them on his back for a decade. And I'm aware of the greatness of Allen Iverson. But the problem is this, and I tell Allen Iverson this to his face, you can't ask me to ignore 3 rings.
Oh, I'm not really a ring guy like that because you got to have a team to do that. Wade didn't do that till Shaq got there. He didn't do that.
But wait a minute. No. Wait a minute. Dwayne Wade didn't win a ring because of Shaq. Shaq won a ring in Miami because of D. Wade. You don't remember what D. Wade did?
Yeah, I understand, but you put Iverson in that same situation. He does the same thing.
That's not true.
He took his
That's
team.
not true. That's not true. You don't know that. Allen Iverson was a scoring. Allen Iverson was a scoring machine, but Dwayne Wade, the complete player it was. Allen Iverson, Tiny Archibald, Isaiah Thomas, 3 greatest little guards in NBA history. But D Wade is going to go down as one of the top 5 off guards of all time. Let's not forget that. We're going to have to respectfully disagree on that, Tony. You take care of yourself. 888 Mad Dog 688-623-3646.
Sirius XM P.
For 2 of the Stephen A. Smith Show here with you until the top of the 3 o'clock hour when I go back to the namesake for the channel, Christopher Mad Dog Russo with his afternoon drive show right here on Sirius XM, Mad Dog Sports Radio. Before I get back to the phones at 888 Mad Dog 6, that's 888-623-3646, let me make sure that I clarify my comments because for a couple of reasons. I covered Allen Iverson for the first 10 years of his career. And as was revealed, I wasn't going to say anything about it, but it was revealed today. It's on the internet, and Allen Iverson apparently spoke to a local radio station in Philadelphia, and he announced that 3 people would be introducing him at the Hall of Fame. One would be Larry Brown. The other would be, his former coach with Philadelphia 76ers. The other would be his former coach at Georgetown University, John Thompson. And the other would be yours truly, me. It's one of the greatest honors of my career. I'm happy to do it. I've known Allen Iverson since he entered the league in 1996. I covered him every day. A lot of ups, a lot of downs. I love him like a little brother. We're very tight. And I will be one of the people introducing him at the Hall of Fame ceremony, when he enters the Basketball Hall of Fame at the end of the summer. Great, great honor for myself. I couldn't believe it when he called me and asked me to do it. I'm honored to do it. But to get back to the caller and his initial question about Allen Iverson, D. Wade, Allen Iverson was a scoring machine. There's no question about it. It's a very difficult question for me to answer because I think that Allen Iverson is one of the most unstoppable, if not the most unstoppable small guard in the history of basketball. And so if you're asking it from that perspective, that's fine. But when you're talking about a guy like D. Wade, I'm talking about a 3-time champion. I'm talking about a guy that's going to go down as a Hall of Famer, as one of the top 5 off guards in NBA history. I'm talking about a guy that didn't have the responsibility that Allen Iverson had. But I'm also talking about a coach in Larry Brown who would tell you that Allen Iverson couldn't handle that responsibility because Allen Iverson got the ball in his hands and he was about scoring. Not necessarily doing all the other things that came with it. And it harkens me back to a story that I had about Allen Iverson and Larry Brown years ago. So Larry Brown, the night before, is playing in Cleveland, Ohio. He's coaching the 76ers. They're playing against the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm talking to Larry Brown about getting Allen Iverson another shooter without having to put all the responsibility on this 6-foot guard. Larry Brown looks at me and says, turn off the tape recorder. It doesn't matter, Stephen A. It doesn't matter. He's not going to pass the ball anyway. What difference does it make? He's not going to give the ball to anybody. He's just going to shoot it any damn way. What difference does it make? I mean, he was going off. I don't know if y'all ever saw that episode of The Honeymooners when Ralph Cramden is talking about his mother-in-law. She's not going to change, Alice. She's going to be the same old way, Alice. She's a blabbermouth. A blabbermouth. It's one of the most hilarious comedic episodes I've ever seen. It was hysterical. That was how Larry Brown was going off about Allen Iverson. So me, being the beat writer that I am, the next day, because it's not like Larry Brown didn't tell me to tell Allen, he just didn't want me to write it in the newspaper. And so the next day I go to Allen Iverson. And I said, man, this is what Larry Brown had to say. Your response. Allen Iverson said, man, turn on that damn tape recorder. He said turn it off. He said turn it on. Turn on that damn tape recorder. He said, Stephen A., it's 24 seconds on the shot clock, right? I said, yeah. He said, we roll the ball up the floor. We bounce, take it up the court, get past half court so we don't have a half court violation by about 8 seconds, right? I said, yeah. He said, so if my math serves me correctly, that's 24 minus 8. That's 16, right? Yeah. He said, so I get a damn ball to Aaron McKee. He give it to Tyronn Hill. He gives it to Dikembe. He gives it to George Lynch. And hell, 5 seconds left, the ball comes back to me. My attitude is, evidently y'all didn't want it, so what you want me to do? I fell out laughing. He said, quote me on that. And walked away. And to this day, I tell that story because it's like, what you want me to say to that? I can't argue with that. He gave up the ball, the damn thing ended up back with him. You like, what you want me to do, Stephen A? What you want me to do? So, that's AI. Whereas D. Wade is the guy that took over 1 year to win the championship, tried to bring LeBron over and turn him into a leader in another, became a point guard and an assist man in another. I mean, D. Wade is D. Wade. Now, could he carry a team every day for 82 games a season, being the miniature dynamo that Allen Iverson is? No. But he's a 3-time champion for a reason. And that can't be ignored either. So even though Allen Iverson was a scorer, I always looked at him as a miniature point guard. He had the ball in his hands. Even though there's a lot of times he played that off guard spot. When push came to shove, he had the ball in his hands. He didn't have to go get it. So it's pick one, basically. 888 Mad Dog 6 is the number to call up. It's 888-623-3646. Let's go to Mike in Sacramento. You're live with Stephen A. on Mad Dog. What's up, Mike? How are you?
Hey, Stephen A. Hey, do me a favor. Can you give us an assessment of the West and Sacramento and the rest of the West out of this draft? What do you think occurred out of that?
I think Sacramento probably improved a little bit, but not enough to be a playoff team. I think when you look at the Western Conference, hey, Golden State, San Antonio, Oklahoma City, given. Clippers, given. After that, it can become very, very interesting in terms of Portland, because they showed us a lot this year with Damian Lillard doing what he did. So you look at them along with CJ, and you got to give them credit. Dallas can't ever be ignored because Rick Carlisle's coaching there, even though they might lose Dirk Nowitzki. Who knows what will happen there. Minnesota's on the come up. Could Sacramento battle for 8th playoff spot? Yes, but that's the best I can see for them.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, man. Let's go to Ralph in Florida. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Ralph?
What's going on, Stephen A?
Good. Talk to me.
I don't get a chance to talk to you as much, but I got a few points I wanted to bring up. One, when I last spoke to you, you told me that you were going with Golden State to win the series. And I said I was very surprised because you never pick against LeBron. So I don't know if you feel like maybe you made the wrong choice.
I've actually, well, clearly I made the wrong choice, but I actually picked against LeBron 3 times, which is why I'm 0-6 in the last 6 NBA Finals, because 3 of those times I picked LeBron James. That's number one. Number two, listen, nothing but mad respect and love, because I didn't want LeBron to lose. I wanted him to win because I think he's too great to have 5 NBA Finals losses on his resume. The flip side to it, however, is that I suspect I would have been right if Draymond Green didn't get suspended for Game 5.
Gotcha. Now, here's my other question to you now. If LeBron had the same performance that Steph Curry had the last 3 games...
He would have been vilified. He would have been crucified. Totally,
I agree, but
totally crucified.
people say that, well, you said that you wouldn't call Steph Curry's performance a choke, but I think if that was LeBron, everybody would have said he choked. So I think it's only fair that people say that Steph Curry choked.
But that's you. Then I got to question your basketball knowledge. Because here's why. Steph Curry missed shots. LeBron James is 6'8", 250. There's a myriad of ways for him to make a difference. Steph Curry is a sniper and a marksman. That's what he does. You live by the three, you die by it. So he made some. He still made better than 40% of his threes. He just didn't make them when it counted. But in the end, the bottom line is that his shot wasn't falling. My biggest problem with Steph Curry, if somebody wants to make the argument about him choking, was those damn decision-making that he did in terms of turning the ball over with behind the back. If you are a physically dominant specimen, and all of a sudden, you don't show up when it counts, that's a problem. Steph Curry is not physically dominant. He just missed shots. That's why.
I got you. I mean, I still feel like all around, his all-around game just didn't, from the turnovers, missing shots. I mean, it was pretty much a no-show.
But wait a minute. That's not choking. You want me to tell you what a better way? You want me to tell you a better way to put it at, Ralph?
Go ahead.
He got his ass waxed.
Yeah.
I mean, Kyrie gave it to him.
Yeah.
That's what happened. That ain't choking. You got to put on you.
MVP. But you don't think, Stephen, from a unanimous MVP standpoint, that's choking?
No.
He's not an average player.
No, you're not playing against Kyrie every day. You're playing against the league. You're playing against all 29 other teams. But Kyrie showed up in the finals. You had to go against this brother that was coming at you. If you notice, every time Steph Curry made a basket, who was pushing the ball up the floor attacking him?
Kai.
Thank you. Every time. That's what happened. That's not choking. That's getting outplayed.
Yeah, but Steph didn't match that. He didn't match.
Ralph. I'm assuming you're an intelligent person. Did I stutter?
Of course.
Did I stutter?
No.
I said he got outplayed. He didn't choke. He didn't panic. He got his butt busted. There's a difference. You got your butt busted. He wasn't shivering and shaky and panicky. No, he got it taken to him. There's a difference. When we went off about LeBron in the series against Dallas, do you know why we did that?
To me, I feel like he choked.
Right, because he was being defended by Jason Terry and J.J. Barea. That's why. You 6'8", 6'9", 250 pounds. How the hell are they guarding you?
That's true.
And then it was after that LeBron developed his post game. Remember that?
Yeah, no, you're right.
That's the difference.
Gotcha.
Gotta go. Appreciate it. Ray in Alabama, you're live with Stephen A. What's up, Ray?
Mr. Smith, good to talk to you. It's my fourth time. Appreciate it.
Why y'all counting the time? Just say you called on the show. You family? Why you counting the fourth time? What are you going to do, say the seventh time after you call 3 more times? Just say you called.
Yeah, maybe.
No. First-time callers are all that matters. After that, you're part of the family. Go ahead.
Good to know. Twofold conversation regarding the Thunder. First off, you said yesterday if Durant leaves for Golden State, that would be disappointing to you, and I have to agree with that. He's got all the pieces, and, they're arguably a player or two away from making it to the finals.
We agree.
But this Serge trade, do you think that has any impact on Durant's future with the Thunder?
I think potentially it could. It cleared up some space, number one. Number two, you got a legitimate shooting guard to take some of the pressure off of Durant and Westbrook. Number three, it makes room for Kanter and Steven Adams to coexist. Ilyasova is no joke as well. I definitely think that, Sam Presti, let's call it what it is, Ray. If Kevin Durant leaves Oklahoma City, it's got nothing to do with Sam Presti. Sam Presti's done his job. Sam Presti has done his job. This is a championship roster. This is a championship roster. Do you deny that, Ray?
Not at all.
There's no if you have a championship roster and you are one of the 3 greatest players in the world, where are you going?
Exactly. So that takes me to the second fold of this discussion. In what world does it make sense for him to leave what he's got? He's got I mean, I understand him and Westbrook are at odds at times, and it's become more and more
on the court, not off the court. They love each other off the court.
Well, then that reinforces my question of what sense does it make? You've got the makings and the blueprint to win a title. I mean, they had Golden State on the ropes.
There's only 2 things.
Didn't put them away.
Ray, there's only 2 things that make sense to me. It's one of these 2 things. A, he does not enjoy playing with Russell Westbrook. Or B, he believes Russell Westbrook's leaving too after this coming season.
And what's Stephen A's take on that? Do you think he sticks around?
Kevin Durant?
Or do you think this coming season dictates both of their futures?
I have no idea right now. I know for a fact that if Kevin Durant stays now, that he'll look to be a free agent next summer as well, when Russell Westbrook is a free agent. Both of them will be a free agent next summer. It's just a question as to whether or not they'll be so on the same team. Because I think wherever Kevin Durant goes, he's going to sign a 2-year deal with a 1-year opt-out. I'm not sure, but I believe that's what he's going to do.
Right. Well, I think it'd be a shame. They're on the cusp of greatness and finally getting over that hump, and I don't want to see them break up until they really, give it a full steam ahead. I thought this year might have been that year, but as we saw, it wasn't in the cards, but they definitely have the ingredients for a championship squad, if you ask me.
If you're a superstar, you don't need to be leaving that roster unless you're very, very unhappy being there. I got to run, Ray. I appreciate the call. 888 Mad Dog 6 is the number to call up. That's 888-623-3646. More of your phone calls in a minute with Stephen A. on Mad Dog.
Say 4-5. Hey yo, this is Eminem.
Eminem's uncut and uncensored hip hop radio station.
This is my station.
Now with a new weekday afternoon lineup.
And it's crazy.
Beginning at noon Eastern, it's the Lord Sears Special.
We're being very professional about this. Ladies only.
Next, the All Out Show with Rude Jude.
I like my show. I don't compromise. I'm here to chop it up with y'all.
J45, Channel 45. And on your phone with the Sirius XM app.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. See website for details.
Need some extra cash today? Do you have bad credit or maxed out credit cards? If so, turn your radio up. 67cash.com is one of the nation's largest personal loan networks with over 50 different lenders. Now you can get a personal loan for up to $5,000 with any type of credit discreetly from your computer or smartphone and with no paperwork to send in. That's right, no paperwork whatsoever. Your cash will hit your bank account as soon as tomorrow, as our lenders have millions of dollars to lend regardless of your credit history. Visit 67cash.com and you can have up to $5,000 in no time. Just have a checking account and a regular source of income and you can get the loan you need now, regardless of your credit. Go to 67cash.com from your smartphone or computer to get the cash you need. Visit 67cash.com. Type www.67cash.com directly into the address bar. That's 67cash.com. 67cash.com.
As a business owner, you know that cash flow issues can sometimes back you into a corner, and fast decisions can be expensive and may even threaten your success. Hi, I'm Ethan Centuria, founder and CEO of Dealstruck. As a fellow business owner, I understand. Sometimes you have to act fast. Have you been turned down by your bank, or worse yet, have you been forced into a high interest rate loan with daily payments? Your business deserves better. That's why I started Dealstruck. Our fast approval process gets you cash in just a few days, and we're upfront about the true cost of your loan. You tell us where you want your business to go, and we'll create a loan package up to $500,000 with low interest rates and flexible payment options. For a different kind of lender, call Dealstruck today.
In business for over a year, monthly revenue over $15,000, credit score not so great? Get cash in as little as 48 hours. Escape your high interest rate business loan now. Visit DealstruckLoans.com or call 844-494-LOAN. That's 844-494-LOAN. 844-494-5626. California Financial Lenders License number 603K089.
It's Dan Graca. Join me on Mad Dog Sports Radio tonight. Every weeknight at 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll talk sports, take calls, and have plenty of laughs. Only on Mad Dog Sports Radio. Channel 82.
This is the Stephen A. Smith Show on Mad Dog Sports Radio.
As an aside, let me say this about the golden boy, Oscar De La Hoya. Wherever you are, I hope you're listening. I'm mad I'm going on vacation after today. Because I want to talk to Oscar De La Hoya, the golden boy. Your boy Canelo, look, I'm not going to accuse this dude who's a stud and a knockout artist and a great, great addition to the sport of boxing from ducking Triple G. But I'm going to say this to you, Oscar De La Hoya, since this is your fighter, since you were smiling while Canelo Alvarez summoned Triple G, Gennady Golovkin, into the ring after knocking out Amir Khan. Your boy Canelo Alvarez looked like he's running from Triple G. He looks like he's ducking. And I'm putting that on you, Oscar De La Hoya, golden boy. Look, I like Oscar De La Hoya. We jab back and forth sometimes, but I respect the hell out of that man. He's a great champion. He's done a lot for boxing. He's a Hall of Famer. And I'm proud of the job that he's done for the most part as a promoter. Because I got tired of Bob Arum and Don King running the show. And Lou DiBella. I didn't want them going. I just wanted another addition to it. Oscar De La Hoya struck me as the kind of guy, he struck me as the Dana White of boxing. He struck me as the kind of guy that would get guys to fight when the public wanted to see them fight. And now here he is. Here Triple G, here Canelo Alvarez, Saul Canelo Alvarez, Liam Smith. Is some dude named Liam Smith is your next opponent? What the hell is this? What is this? Now, for those of you, including Oscar De La Hoya, will sit there and say well, Stephen A., where was he when Floyd Money Mayweather didn't fight Manny Pacquiao? Well, let's just call it what it is. Floyd Money Mayweather thought that Pacquiao was juiced. He thought Pacquiao was cheating. And I still said Floyd Mayweather damn well better had not retired before fighting Pacquiao. I still said that. So much so it ticked off Money Mayweather, and he cussed me out over the internet. But he ended up fighting him. Canelo Alvarez summoned Triple G into the ring. Gave every impression that whether it was Cinco de Mayo or another date, we would see him against Triple G. And we know Triple G ain't running. So where's Canelo Alvarez? Liam Smith? Who the hell wants to see that? Fall of 2017? That's more than a year away. I mean, this is some BS. Oscar, this is bogus. We all thought we were going to get Canelo Alvarez versus Triple G in the fall. Canelo looked like he ducking Triple G. I'm just going to say it. He do look like he's ducking him. I'm just going to put it out there like that. 888 Mad Dog 6 is the number to call up. It's 888-623-3646. I mean, this is nonsense. Let's go to John in North Carolina. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, John?
Hey, what's up, Stephen A.?
How you doing, buddy?
There?
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm originally from Akron, so I was up for the parade last night in Akron. That's where I grew up.
You mean Wednesday, but go ahead. No problem.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're talking about last night. You're talking about last night in Akron after the parade in Cleveland when they honored LeBron James then. Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was awesome last night. I just want to let you know I was out there, came up to visit my parents since I was in the military, and we went up there to see LeBron and that. But, you were talking about boxing. I want to talk basketball, but, Sean Porter's fighting tomorrow. He's another native.
Well, I don't know if you knew or not. Keith Thurman and Sean Porter came on this show together 2 days ago.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch that.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I can't make every show. But, hey, I want to talk about the East for next year, the Indiana Pacers. I think what Larry Bird's doing is unbelievable. I think they're a team that could be the number 2 or 3 seed next year. And I'm not saying
the word unbelievable, I'm not sure about that, but he's doing a damn good job. Acquiring Jeff Teague from Atlanta, then acquiring Thaddeus Young from Brooklyn. I think those are 2 huge pickups that will help Paul George. And I think it's a step in the right direction for the Indiana Pacers. And Larry Bird is doing a hell of a job right now.
Yeah, I think he's got the great idea, except for, how the Celtics are doing things. They're kind of tanking in the draft, to get the best draft pick. I just don't like how they're doing that.
How are you going to say that?
No.
What's the Celtics in the playoffs? What are you talking about?
You're right. I understand what you're saying. One last thing, I'll let you go on this. I wanted to ask you about the Victor Oladipo. I think that's a great addition if you can keep Durant and Westbrook in Oklahoma City for one more year. I think he's the guy that can do all the dirty work for them and make them well, he's better than the dirty work talent, let me tell you. And if you do lose Durant, even though there is a drop off, let me tell you something, him and Russell Westbrook is nothing to sneeze at as a backcourt, I can tell you that. I could see them in the finals next year. You have a good one, Stephen A.
Hold it, without Kevin Durant? He obviously meant without Kevin Durant, because that's not true. They ain't going to no damn finals without Kevin Durant. Let's go to Chad in Dallas. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Chad?
Hey, thanks for taking my call, brother. Actually, my call and my question for you kind of revolves around Oklahoma City as well, but I'm a Lakers fan, diehard since the early 80s. And we're so young right now. We have nothing. Like, I know that, we're still a few years away from being relevant again. However,
you're a marquee free agent away from being relevant. But go ahead.
Well, and that's where it comes from, my question. What is the trade value of someone like D'Angelo Russell, from what you hear?
Not much.
In the preparation of after next summer, putting a full court press on Russell Westbrook to get him to L.A.?
That would depend on how D'Angelo Russell performs this upcoming season.
Okay. Because the thing that really kind of got me a little excited, and I'm not putting him in Kevin Durant's class at all, but Brandon Ingram is kind of a Kevin Durant style of player, and it seems like the Kevin Durant-Russell Westbrook thing may be 2 alpha males in the same room kind of deal, where if Russell Westbrook came to L.A., he could be the alpha male, run that show, but still have that shooter, that long shooter, to play with, and that style that he's comfortable playing with.
Well, like I said, ultimately what it comes down to, Chad, is you're praying you're going to get Russell Westbrook. Now, I will tell you that if Russell Westbrook does decide to leave Oklahoma City, it is widely believed that California, L.A. will be his destination. That I will tell you. So it's just a question as to whether or not he's going to be willing to leave.
Well, I sure hope that's the truth, because, we could definitely use somebody like that, his style of play, and I love watching that guy play. And, you talk about Allen Iverson. To me, he's like a bigger, stronger Allen Iverson.
That is correct. That's Allen Iverson's favorite player.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you. 888 Mad Dog 6 is always the number to call up. That's 888-623-3646. More of your thoughts on the draft, on this NBA season, on free agency, and on what I just talked about with Canelo Alvarez and Triple G. Stick around. It's Stephen A. on Mad Dog.
Mad Dog Sports Radio. Sports Bite.
Another Ben in Philadelphia. There was Ben Franklin, the Sons of Ben. That's the cheering section for the city's MLS club. And now top overall NBA draft pick Ben Simmons. Sixers head coach Brett Brown joined Shine on Sports on Mad Dog Sports Radio earlier today. One of the knocks on Simmons has been his shooting ability. Brown not concerned.
I feel like when you look at his shot from the waist up, you put bucket things up into total sort of rebuild or just a brush over, a makeover. I don't see much wrong with his form, and I think with confidence and repetition we'll be fine there too. So, it's a good platform to begin with, no doubt.
As for the second pick, Lakers took Duke's Brandon Ingram. Lake Show head coach Luke Walton on the Stephen A. Smith Show, pumped to bring in their lottery pick.
Absolutely love his game, his versatility on both ends of the court. I can see him guarding multiple positions with his length, being able to, change shots in the paint and get out and run in transition. And then obviously to be his age and be that skilled already on offense, I think the kid has a very bright future.
Continuing discussion on Sirius XM NBA Radio, Sirius 207 XM 86. NHL Draft tonight, coverage on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio 91 beginning 7 Eastern. Baseball Braves GM John Coppola has said he doesn't think the team will trade starting pitcher Julio Teheran. Full slate of baseball, 15 games on tonight's schedule. The MLB leading Cubs trying to climb out of what's a 4-game hole in the wrong direction. They continue their series with the Marlins. Kyle Hendricks opposed by Miami's Tom Kohler at 7:10 Eastern. Giants have won 3
33 minutes past hour number 1 back here in hour number 2. I'm sorry, back here in the Stephen A. Smith Show, Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. Back to the phones we go. Let's go to Sean in Cali. You're live with Stephen A. Mad Dog. What's up, Sean?
Yo, Stephen A. How's it going? My brother, hey, 3 names: LeBron, Kobe, and Jordan. Those are all, without a shadow of a doubt, best players of the world. How can a person like Steph Curry be considered the best basketball player in the world when he doesn't contribute to the game of basketball like the 3 I just named?
Well, who called him the best player in the world?
I looked at you on First Take and
no.
Was that Skip?
You ain't never heard me say that. I said he's the best. I said he's the best. He's the best shooter I've ever seen.
A lot of people, that's the speculation that he's one of the top 5 best players. The top.
Skip never.
Best basketball
Hold on.
players.
Hold it. In fairness to my man Skip Bayless, who is no longer a part of First Take, Tuesday was his last day. Skip Bayless never called Steph Curry the best player in the world. Skip Bayless said he's having the best season of any player in NBA history. No player in NBA history has had a season like Steph Curry has had. That's what he said.
Back-to-back MVP, one-time unanimous MVP, choking the finals 2 years in a row.
I don't think he choked.
Or get outplayed 2 years in a row.
Well, who did he get outplayed by last year?
LeBron. LeBron's stat line was crazy.
LeBron's stat line was crazy. He was the only option that it had. Steph Curry had Klay Thompson. He had Draymond Green. He had everybody. LeBron's stat line. LeBron also shot 35% from the field, by the way. I don't know if you remember that. But the point is that. But the point is that you're not comparing Steph Curry to LeBron James in last year's finals. And there's no question that Steph Curry could not have done what LeBron James did last year. Steph Curry's not 6'8", 250. He couldn't have been posting on the block. He couldn't have been averaging triple doubles. He couldn't have been doing what LeBron James did. And LeBron James said it best, Sean. He said, of course Steph Curry deserved the MVP, but there's a difference between the league MVP and who actually the best player in the world is. And clearly Steph Curry is not the complete player that LeBron is. But from an offensive standpoint, when Steph Curry was shooting lights out this season, we had never seen that before. Let's give the guy credit.
I give him credit, but there's a lot of flaws that I don't think that certain MVPs are all around.
You know what? Stop it. Stop with the garbage. It's not about the MVP. It's not about the MVP. You and I both know what you're trying to say. You think that Steph Curry was receiving far too much praise. I'm saying to you this season, that's not true. He deserved all the praise he was receiving this year because of the season. 50% from the field, 45% from three-point range. Clearly the greatest shooter we had ever seen. 402 threes, which broke his own record of 286, which was a record that eclipsed Ray Allen and Reggie Miller and all of these other guys. This season, offensively, because of his shooting prowess, it was the greatest offensive performance we had ever witnessed. It's a fact. And that doesn't make him better than LeBron or Jordan or Kobe or anybody else. But it does make him the greatest shooter we have ever seen. That cannot be debated. That's all. Take it easy. Ronald in New York, you're live with Stephen A. What's up, Ronald?
Yeah, how you doing, Stephen A? I'm calling from the city of New York, state of Brooklyn. The NBA draft was absolutely miraculous.
No. The borough of Brooklyn, not the state of Brooklyn. Go ahead.
Yeah, I said the state of New York, sorry. But Isaiah Whitehead coming to the Nets, and you got to be easy on Phil because what he's doing is reconstructing Rome, and the Knicks was drafted Ron Baker. How do you feel about Ron Baker?
Let me ask you a question. Would you like me to hang up on you? Did you just tell me to take it easy on Phil? Did you just tell me to do that?
No. I didn't say take it easy on Phil, but take credit for what is Phil doing with the Knicks.
Well, let's analyze it. Let's step back, Ron, and analyze that. He went from 17 to 32 games, right?
True.
That's a 15-game improvement, right?
Absolutely.
Well, what were the Knicks the season before Phil arrived and they won 17 games? What did they win the year before?
They went to the playoffs, I believe.
No, they didn't. But they did win 37 games. So he went from 37, hired a rookie novice coach, went to 17, from 37 to 17. That's a 20-game subtraction. And he turned around, went 15 games up, right? Now he's got Melo. He's got Porzingis. Now he's got Derrick Rose.
And he got Ron Baker now.
My point is this. What I hold Phil accountable for, Phil Jackson right now is doing what any executive could do. Because let me tell you why. I could hire a coach that had no experience. I could pick Porzingis number 4 overall if I stunk up the joint and had the number 4 overall pick. By the way, if I was going to stink, I would have stunk enough to lose 2 of the final 3 games, which Derek Fisher didn't do, which would have put me in position to get the number 1 overall pick, would have been Karl Anthony Towns or Jahlil Okafor as opposed to Porzingis. So let's go with that. Then I could have given Carmelo Anthony, who, by the way, was my own free agent, $122 million. He would have taken it from me, just like he took it from Phil. And then after that, okay, now you go out and get Derrick Rose. Clearly the Bulls didn't want him anymore. So you got that going on. When is Phil going to go out and get a marquee free agent? Phil wants to impress me. How about going out there and get Kevin Durant?
But that's going to be a hard task for him because Kevin Durant's getting talked to.
Stop. Phil Jackson's getting paid 6 times more than any executive in the game. He's an 11-time champion as a coach who refuses to coach. So what I'm trying to say to you, Ron, how is anybody being hard on him? What's your job description?
Listen, all I'm saying is what the Knicks are going to be in the next few years, you're going to take credit into what I just told you today with Phil Jackson.
I'm not saying that Phil Jackson and the Knicks are not going to be better. I'm not refuting what you're saying. What I have a problem with you is that you're giving him all of this time to do it. And the fact of the matter is that a whole bunch of people could have done that. They didn't have that window, Ron. They didn't give these guys 5 years. They didn't give Donnie Walsh 5 years. Mike D'Antoni 5 years. Or a bunch of executives that they had in place for Glenn Grunwald and others 5 years. So why give it to Phil at $12 million per? Go out there and get a marquee free agent. You're the president in Gotham City. This is New York. You got Melo here. Now you got Porzingis and Derrick Rose here. How come you can't go out and get Kevin Durant here? Kevin Durant and Melo can't take out LeBron and them in Cleveland? Don't you think they'd have a shot, Ronald?
Matter of fact, I don't think that would be a good combination.
Oh, okay. So you don't think that Kevin Durant and Melo would work?
Nah, because Melo likes to chuck the ball. Sharing the ball would be a hard
Let me ask you this question, Ron. If Kevin Durant could play all of these years with Russell Westbrook, how would it be any worse with Carmelo Anthony?
Listen, Russell Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony are definitely 2 different players.
So hold on. So Melo is worse for Durant to play with than Russell Westbrook?
Absolutely.
I'm talking about in terms of ball hogging.
Absolutely. Don't you think?
How can Russell Westbrook be less than Carmelo Anthony when Russell Westbrook's the point guard? Melo has to get the ball. Russell Westbrook always has the ball. So how can Melo be worse than Russell Westbrook in that department?
Because Melo will not share that ball. That's all I'm trying to tell you.
Goodbye. Have a nice day. Lou in Canada, you're live with Stephen A. That's just stupid. I mean, he's telling me that Melo has the ball more than Russell Westbrook. That's just stupid. I don't have patience for that. Go ahead, Lou.
He must be sitting there counting with a counter.
I guess so. I don't know. I don't have time for ignorance when it comes to such basketball.
I know. I don't have time.
Steven, go ahead.
I get it. Listen, I got a question for you globally. I want your opinion on where the league is going with the international flair. Personally, I think that being a ball fan from the 70s and the 80s growing up, American ballers aren't getting the opportunities anymore. And I'm not if I want to watch European basketball, I'll fly to Italy and Spain and watch it over there. But I like where the league is going. I'm a Raptor fan. The Raptors picked up another two Europeans.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem with what you're saying, Lou. Here's the problem with what you're saying, Lou. Over 70% of the league is black. The NBA is successfully going about the business of globalizing its brand, but it's not at the expense of ballers in the States that you think, because 70% of them are from here.
So they're still 70%, but look at the draft. Look what's going on.
I understand that, but I'm telling you, you still got to make the team. The fact of the matter is that you got a lot. The numbers have stayed around the same. They've dwindled and diminished a touch, a percentage point here or there, but for the most part, it's still primarily American-born, African-American players.
Really? Well, it just doesn't seem like the way.
I agree. I heard a lot of European names last night. No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. I've heard it's something worth watching, but we can't sit here and surmise that that's what's happening.
Well, you must admit the European game is a different style of game compared to what the American game was.
It is, and also the NBA is globalizing its brand and making the game, the NBA game, more appealing to European ballers. So when you combine that, clearly a shift is transpiring, particularly when you take analytics into consideration and see what they're doing in terms of the numbers game, because that lends itself towards adding more European players as well. So again, you're right. It's something that we should keep our eyes on, but it's not something to hit the panic button over quite yet, because the league is still primarily African Americans and American citizens.
Yeah, exactly. And the skill level too. Like, it's a different type of ball. It's like an NFL player. Michael Sams came up to Canada to play in the CFL. He couldn't hack it. A lot of them can't do it. It's a different game. And that's the way I'm saying it.
I will tell you this, Lou. When I'm watching a team, don't get me wrong, I certainly don't want African Americans to disappear from the sport. I doubt that will ever happen.
Not.
But I will tell you this. I have no problem. I don't give a damn where you're from. If I don't get, let me tell you something. When the New York Knicks are playing, I'm just as happy when Porzingis scores as when Melo scores.
Well, you know what? When Andrea Bernardi is selling pasta sauce in Toronto television show, and he's more happy doing that than he is sinking baskets, and I'm paying $160 a seat, you know what? You know where you can go? Back to Sicily or whatever the hell he came from.
But Lou, in fairness, DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry ain't from Europe. They're on your team too.
And you know what, the Raptors, what do they have to address? The power forward. And what do? They get some guy from Sudan, and they get some guy from Australia. And he's skinny as hell.
How did you feel about Bismack Biyombo?
Well, I like Biyombo because...
How did you feel? How did you like Valanciunas?
Yeah.
They ain't Americans. Come on, Lou.
I'm big on heart. I'm big on heart. I love heart. And you know what? I just don't think the European players have the heart the American ball players have.
You know what? I appreciate
it. Like Canadian hockey players.
I appreciate where you're coming from. I respectfully disagree. Dirk Nowitzki's got heart. Manu Ginobili's got heart. Valanciunas got heart. Marc Gasol got heart. Paul Gasol, whatever you want to question about him, he's a two-time champion. He's got something with him. There's plenty of Europeans that have a lot of heart. Let's show some respect. 888 Mad Dog 6 is the number to call up. Just 888-623-3646. Your phone calls to close out the show in a minute with Stephen A. on Mad Dog.
If you missed the Morning Man with Evan and Babs on Friday, you missed our draft breakdown. If you want to try to stump Babs, give him a name. Could be a real name or a fake name. International draftee. Alex in Texas, go ahead.
Johannes Dzukapokis. 7-foot center out of Lithuania. Johannes Dzukapokis, yes, that's a player that was drafted in 2013.
Mad Dog Sports Radio.
49 minutes past hour number 2 back here on the Stephen A. Smith Show, Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. Going to take a few phone calls before I get on out of here and start my official vacation. I love y'all. I love my listeners. I love my viewers. I appreciate everything that y'all done for me. There would be no me without y'all. I thank you so much, but forgive me for saying this. I hope to see nor hear from any of you before I come back from vacation. I am exhausted. I am tired. I don't want to. I'm not going to even watch ESPN. And I work for the daggone network and love every moment of it. But I'm telling you, I'm not going to even watch. I am so exhausted. I can't tell y'all how badly. I've never craved a vacation more in my life. And I'm looking forward to it. So hopefully I don't hear from anybody. Even though I might owe my man Dan Grassa an interview. I didn't even know he texted me the other day, my Lord. So that's my man. I might come on for him, but that's about it. I'm trying to tell you, I'm going to disappear. Let's go to Xavier in Austin. You're live with Stephen A. on Mad Dog. Xavier, how are you?
Hey, man. How you doing? I'm good, man. I just want to talk about Oklahoma City, man. Sam Presti. That dude can sell salt to a slug, man. Golly.
He gets it done, man. He gets it done.
He really does, man. And I just want to know, how did he end up getting all of that for Serge Ibaka? I mean, because if you look at Oklahoma City the past couple of years, the only weak spot that they can really focus in, other than choking four-quarter leads away, is the two-guard spot. I think they
Well, you got to remember, you're talking about Frank Vogel here, former coach at Indiana. He likes playing inside out. He wants a stretch, a four that can defend and still hit a 15 to 17-foot shot. So that fits into his system and style of play. So that's how you would do something like that. That explains the Ibaka deal. But to get Oladipo away, wow, that was big. That was big. Xavier, I got to go. Appreciate it, man. Darnell in North Carolina, you're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Stephen A., man, I wanted to make sure I got you before you went on vacation. First of all, I hope you enjoy your vacation. You deserve it.
Thank you, bro.
Question about Dwight Howard, man. Where do you think a good place for him to land? I think
New York or Golden State?
Would you accept him?
In Golden State or New York?
In New York.
Oh, hell yeah. What choice do they have? Who the hell are they to be choosy?
I mean you, not them.
Dwight and I have talked about that, in all honesty. I happen to know him better than most, and I think he gets a bad rap. He brings some of it on himself. A lot of it is self-inflicted, no doubt about this. But I would tell you that he's a good guy, and I root for him. He's not nearly as bad or cancerous as folks try to portray him to be, and I think he gets a bad rap in that regard. But he does bring some of it on himself, a little immature, a little sensitive, and the New York market would concern me. But they need a big, and I think he fits the bill. If you got him with Porzingis, with Melo, you've got shooters out there capable of spreading the floor where you can't double him, and I think he could do some damage for you, not to mention be a defensive presence. So I support that. Appreciate the call, though, man. Thank you so much. Nuno, put my calls up, please. 888 Mad Dog 6 is always the number to call up. That's 888-623-3646. Who else is on the line, Nuno? Van in Idaho, you're live with Stephen A. on Mad Dog. Ben in Idaho, you're live with Stephen A. What's up, Ben?
Hey, how you doing?
Go ahead, man.
Hey, I wanted to talk about that Ibaka trade as well. I love it. I've loved Ibaka all along, but I can't believe they got Sabonis. I think he's going to be an immediate impact, and then Oladipo as well. What do you think about moving Westbrook back to his original 2 and trading for a true number 1?
It wouldn't bother me, but I think a lot of that is contingent on whether or not you keep Durant. If Durant stays, I don't know if that's the way to go. If Durant goes, with Oladipo there and Russell Westbrook, you could leave it as is, and it'll evolve around Oladipo and Westbrook. And the thing that makes that interesting is that you also have to remember that by doing that, meaning Russell Westbrook keeping the ball in his hands but not having to throw the ball to Durant, Oladipo is not going to demand as many shot attempts as Kevin Durant, which is going to be more action for the Enes Kanters and the Steven Adams of the world. Got to run. Ray in South Carolina, you're live with Stephen A. Real quick, Ray, go ahead.
Congratulations on the vacation. I think you need it. So please, I'll be happy for you to go.
Why do you think I need it, Ray? I know why I need it. Why do you think I need it?
Well, because of you talk about the Warriors against the Cavs, and I can't say that I agree with everything that you said, but I do appreciate you. You do an awesome job, and I watch you on ESPN, and you're doing a fabulous job there too. But I just don't know. Looking at Dwight Howard, I like Houston. I'm originally from Houston, but I just don't always agree with you, Stephen A.
Hey, listen, that's what makes the world go round, Ray. You were so respectful in saying that. I deeply appreciate that. I don't mind you calling up and correcting me and checking me. I appreciate the love. I consider that love, Ray.
All right.
Doesn't bother me at all. Call anytime.
Okay. Have a great one.
Have a great one. Let's go to Mason in Texas. You're live with Stephen A. real quick. Go ahead, Mason.
Hey, Stephen A. I just want to get your take on the Rockets and what you think they need to do to get over that hump and get back to the Western Conference Finals and maybe to the NBA Finals.
They need to get a real point guard to play alongside James Harden, somebody to run the team. So James Harden could play his role, but others are playing their role, and they'll all be fine. Got to go. Carlos in Maryland, you got 30 seconds. Go.
Hey, thank you, sir. Hey, I just want to thank you personally. The last time I talked to you, you told me that that Golden State will win in 6, and I put my bet in Vegas the opposite. So I want to thank you for my vacation.
Well, I appreciate that. You're lucky Draymond got suspended. Good for you, but I'm glad it helped you out anyway. That's it for me. I'm about to get on out of here. I've had one day. One full day off from everything since August. I cannot wait to go on vacation. I thank y'all all for listening. I'll be back in a few weeks, probably around July 15th. I'm getting on out of here. I'm sure they'll have great radio hosts filling in for me, but I'm out. I'm leaving not just this job at ESPN. I'm leaving the world of sports. I am disappearing. Y'all be safe. God bless y'all. And I hope God blesses me with a beautiful, beautiful summer.
The BR Afternoon Drive on Sirius.